Yeah, absolutely. Oh, let's go. We live.
What's up, everybody? Well, we are live. We are
Woo.
welcome to the cookout.
Yeah.
My man, Big Mario, the cameraman.
Let's go.
The Superman.
Yes,
Nikki
sir.
Krem in the place to be. The
Let's
Cleveland
get it.
connection. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, I'm sorry. What was this? What was the spot just outside of Cleveland, sir?
Here, no. North Royalton.
North
Like, when you
Royalton
say it
connection.
like that,
You gotta say it like that.
When we were back and we were hardcore, we'd say no row.
No row, baby.
No row, yeah.
No row.
Yeah.
Well,
No
welcome back.
Yeah.
It is your boy Say Cool. We are at the cookout. We got Florida representing. We got Ohio representing. We got New York representing. We got
Let's go.
the world representing. And my man Nick Krem, man.
Yeah.
I feel like he's Fife Dog right now. He's like, my man Nick Krem, he got something to say.
Yeah, you don't put me on any beat like that.
No,
my
don't
brand
do that.
doesn't need that. No, my
You don't need
brand,
that.
my ego doesn't need that. Like
You
I don't
know my
have
life.
one,
Yo.
but yeah, no, I don't have. I try to get rid of one every day, and that will just stomp it. That will like get rid of all the good side of it too.
My nephew Amir is about to lose his shit about today's broadcast.
Is he?
Oh my god! If he was available,
Yeah,
I'd get him on because he's a huge comic book fan and movies, and he's got himself a podcast where he talks. They get together, I think, every Friday night, and they get together and argue about some of the best and worst of the movie and comic universe.
Yeah. Well, you know, it was this was something I actually saw a little bit ago, but then with some of the things that we're talking about recently too popped up, and I talked about with my sister too, and it was like, you know, like what I saw before, it was who is it? What's the guy's name? Danny Glover?
Danny Glover.
Yeah, because like someone made a fake post about him being Spider-Man. And then,
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. Yeah. And the like Twitter erupted. And first of all, I don't even know much about comics, but Spider-Man's like in the multiverse and always has been.
Yeah.
And if you're telling me in all the multiverses there's not a black Spider-Man, you're fucking stupid. But on top of that too, it really got me thinking. I showed it to my sister, and you know, my sister's with us with me on this, and she's like, we talked about. I'm like, dude, why does it even matter? He's not real. Like these people aren't real. Like I can see if somebody made a movie about me and they made me black, I'd be like, well, you can't do that. That's just not real.
Right.
But then I started thinking like, because who were we talking about imagery with? The guy who wrote Tay. I
don't know.
Devontae.
Oh yeah. Devontae.
And that really got me thinking about the power of imagery of like what if there's a black Superman? That's the first thing I thought of. But yeah.
Well, Nick, man, check this. My whole life, man, I've been raised with white Cleopatras and all of these characters that I knew, white Pocahontas, white, Native Americans, white, if they was Egyptian, they was white, this and that. And so like the powers that be never seem to have a problem replacing a culture when they're sort of whitewashing it, but when it goes in the other direction, then everybody loses their shit and the inaccuracy. Do you know there's a huge debate going on right now about and this is going to show you how deep of a nerd I am. This is going to show you how deep of a nerd I am, right? There's a huge debate going on right now. There is a new Lord of the Rings series about to come out.
Oh, I saw that. I love Lord of the Rings. I love
and
it. All right,
the elves.
Yeah,
they're in the trailer. You see a couple of very dark-skinned elves.
Cool.
And the nerdverse exploded in like racist orgasms. They was just like, dude, the elves are the people of the crystals, and it's impossible for them. Yo,
well, I that shit blows my mind because none of that shit's real.
That's what I'm saying. Like you having an argument about something that's not even real. Like it can be whatever. I think it's just because people are so used to seeing it one way, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, it just shows. It goes to show that it is real. That the relationships that we develop with imagery has a real profound impact.
It does
on our minds.
And
you know what I mean?
I can't say for everybody, but I feel like I could speak on behalf of my race here. I think I can at least for a certain extent.
At least here you can.
Right. I do believe a lot of people don't understand like when they say like, oh my God, it can't be that way. Like what they're really saying like between the lines. You know what I mean? Like they can't be elves, but I don't think like, because to me, I didn't think about imagery and I didn't know the power of imagery until Devontae brought it up and started going through about the books. because to me, I was like, okay, yeah, that's a book. That's pretty cool. And then he started like, no. It's not about the book. It's about imagery.
Yeah.
It's about seeing a young black boy as an astronaut, as a rock star, as a doctor, as all of these things. And he's like, well, I grew up in a pretty good family that was doing well off. So I did see these things.
Well, watch this, Nick.
All right, go ahead.
Who invented the internet?
I don't know.
Nobody knows, right? It's just this mystery god that's been there forever, right? It's a black dude.
No shit.
100%.
Hell yeah.
Right? Now, you would think that something as important as the internet would have like the founder at like the masthead of it, this and that. It's completely lost to history, bro.
Right.
Who invented the super soaker?
Oh, I did see it. I saw a post for it, but I can't tell you his name.
Same guy.
No shit. The same dude. I saw a post. You know what's wild? I saw a post for the super soaker, and they didn't even mention the internet. Like,
I don't know if I'm right about that, but it feels like I'm right. No, it feels like I'm right. But look, put in the comments if I'm right or wrong. But
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the same dude. He's like this engineer that figured out how to do this.
Yeah.
But when you brought this up to me, I got super excited. You talked to me about the Black Superman and how everybody was losing their shit about that.
Yeah.
If we were being scientific about this, right? If we were being scientific about this, there is no greater chemical in the world than melanin. Can I get a love on that, Mario? Right.
Baby.
So Superman, what does he do? He comes to this planet.
Right.
He reacts to the sun. He can leap taller than a building, run faster than a speeding bullet.
I know some Superman.
I don't know no white boys like that. You know what I mean?
Hey, you must have missed my story today. I was getting pretty on those boxes.
Oh yeah.
I'd be like, no, but
well, you are also taller. You're already taller than a skyscraper.
Right. They're jumping over me. Right.
Giovanni, I'm gonna send you a message right now. I want you to join us. This is a good brother of mine. So Giovanni says Super Soaker was a man of color, but not sure about the internet.
Yeah.
Let me send him. Him a message right now. I can't wait for y'all to meet this dude. Giovanni is one of my oldest friends in the world. He's an entrepreneur. He is our demographic when we talk about the cookout. He is a businessman. He is a great friend and father, and I am going to invite his ass right now. And we talk about everything from superheroes.
Right.
As a matter of fact, Gio was such a great artist back in the day that we would sit in our class, and he'd be drawing like frames of comics.
Right.
Oh, you're coming through LinkedIn. Gio, look at your messenger app. Look at your messenger app. So real quick.
Yeah.
Nick, when you saw that, when you saw people losing their shit about Superman, what was the first thing you thought?
So the first, the truth of the first thing I saw was like, who fucking cares about any of this? First of all, because like when I see people lose their shit over things that don't affect their life whatsoever, you know what I mean? I'm like, a lot of these people are hopping on like, I wouldn't be able to live without. Like, dude, you would go see the movie and you probably love it and take your word back anyways, because obviously there's nothing if you're tweeting this BS. The second thing I thought again is like, it's not like they're taking somebody from history, which like you were bringing up too. They've already done that.
Yeah.
But it's not like they're taking someone from history and just changing who they were. This is someone that doesn't exist in a fairy tale land far, far away. I know it's a different one, but like
I get it though. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
And that leads us into the next one, right? Doesn't it?
This shit right here. I lost my mind today, man. This is the young woman that is playing a badass
Star Wars character
in the Star Wars the Obi-Wan series.
She's a fool,
and they
pun intended
are losing their shit.
Yeah,
about this woman Reva.
They are
kicking ass and taking names, and I have no idea why it's such a big deal to them, because it's not like she was a character in the old movies and then they took it away from there, and it's just she's just a genuine badass, and I don't know if they don't like that, maybe just don't like the fact that she's a badass.
I feel like people
and she's fine as hell. She is fine as baby hair. So I'm gonna tell you right now. She got the dark side of the force, and she the dark side of the force, and she got the fly ass braids. Let me tell you right now. Let them fuck up and pull one of them braids too tight. Somebody getting clapped. Okay, somebody is getting clapped in real life.
How much of it do you think? How much of it do you think is the intimidation factor of the character and the individual herself, of just being, like you said, like she's beautiful, she has all these things going on, and now her character too is like, I was a little nervous. I'm like, oh shit, she getting Kenobi. She getting his ass. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Kenobi up.
I know she doesn't kill him, but I'm like, if there's somebody that's going to find his ass in that show, that's
it's going to be her.
I think that might be why people are mad. It's not like a minor character. Like, I knew the first moment I saw her, I'm like, yeah, she's the one that's going to get Kenobi.
She is a badass. Well, in the Mandalorian series, you had Giancarlo Esposito playing Commander. I can't think of what his last name, but he was like this. He was a badass, Sith commander. Yeah, and I didn't hear too much shit about that, man. I didn't hear about it. It might have the. It might be the fact.
Is it she's a woman? Do you think
maybe it's the fact that she's a woman?
Because I also feel like that character in that one, people loved Breaking Bad and his character in that. So I think that might have had a little transition. When I saw him, I'm like, oh, that's Gus Fring. That's at least what I thought. Have you seen Breaking Bad?
Yes, sir. Yes.
I watched like an episode, so we never even got to Gus.
Too much hype.
Come on, Mario.
But I think I might also, like you were saying too, it's that not just because she's black as well, but that she's also a strong, beautiful black woman.
Yes, sir. And
she's a freaking badass. So like all of that alone, I think there's a lot
combined.
I think I know what it is. A lot of frail male ego.
Yeah, bro. There it is. avpros.io. Hold on, I'm just sending this off to him. You know I can't type and talk.
Right.
PROS.
Wait, so think about this though. Think about this real quick, Sekou. I'm gonna run you down a rabbit hole. You ready?
I'm ready.
Think about the typical white individual who watches Star Wars. You have a picture in your mind, don't you?
I know it. Yeah.
The ones that don't go out much, probably don't meet women much. Look, I love Star Wars. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if I'm your typical Star Wars watcher. I'm just saying.
You are a jock.
The ones that normally get into it deep, like watching comic books and everything, are the ones
you don't know. That's actually the subclass of Klingon too.
Like intimidated by just normal individuals, let alone a strong, confident black woman that is going to be a main character and find Kenobi. Oh, they are just terrified right now. Yeah. Terrified.
Well, there's that whole thing.
What do people do when they're in fear mode?
They panic and they react. There's this whole thing right now, and this is apropos, man. And on a more serious note, man, there's this whole thing about replacement theory, and you know how a bunch of white folks think that there's this huge conspiracy to replace them in the universe, and baby. Y'all replacing yourselves. Y'all doing some crazy shit like jumping off of roofs and alligator wrestling and shit like that. Y'all been pushing that agenda for a while without us.
And it's like we were talking about like the pendulum a lot. Remember we were talking about the pendulum, say how it swings one way. Yeah. It's like if we were thinking about like the replacement, it's like the white people swung it so far one way and it started to creep back a little bit and they're getting fucking like scared.
It's like but the thing is that if we find the medium, it's not going to be too much this or too much that. It's going to be a little bit of everything. What up, G? Oh, G. First of all, man, don't show up on the joint with the fresh cut, and everything. This is the man with the plan. This is. Let me give him a little bona fides, then I'll shut up and let him talk about himself. This is the owner, one of the partners at AV Pros. He is one of the most successful Afro-Latino businessmen in the AV industry today. He's looking at your setup behind you, Nick, and going, I could hook that up for you and shit like that. Bilingual, trilingual. He not only speaks English and Spanish, but he speaks peacefully as well. That man knows how to get inside the brain.
That was good.
Dad, son, husband, brother. What's up, G?
What's up, gentlemen? How you guys doing?
Rocking and rolling, man. So you hear what we talking about, right, man? We talk about the reaction to the blackening of the fantasy world, man.
I was telling my wife something about that, and I think he hit it on the head when he said, one, it's not just that it's a black woman, right? One, it's a black person. Two, it's a woman. Three, she's kicking butt.
Yeah.
And it's like you rather have someone that doesn't look like that kick butt. But for someone to come out like that and be as aggressive and as, just forth moving, it's a little, for a lot of folks. So I was telling my wife, I don't think that a lot of the chatter that she won't last long is necessarily a thing about who she is as much as it could be about the character in the story, because we don't hear about her later on. That's right. That's where I was going with that.
That's right.
Well,
G.
And when you really, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, Nick.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's also comes from a lack of experience of different races in the real world. Because I'll tell you what, from my perspective, a black woman, especially like a black mom, is one of the most intimidating. Like if you see, like I've seen your mom get mad at you, man, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting a little like, and it's just like it's not far. Like to me, it's completely unfar-fetched. Like when I see this camera, I'm like, oh yeah, no, that could be real. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like people who haven't experienced anything near that just are like, that can't be real. Like, what do you mean? This is too much.
Correct.
Well, I got a couple of black daughters. Gio got a black daughter. Like when we watch movies and television and we consume the entertainment world, we're almost forced to consume whatever they present to us. Right. And so whenever there's an opportunity to enjoy and consume something that reflects us, you'll see every single person that is reflected in that image turn towards it. And they'll have some highs and some lows, and they'll wish it's this way and that way. I can't stand Tyler Perry. I cannot stand Tyler Perry or any one of his movies, any one of the plays or anything like that. I can't stand it. But I got to give him credit for changing the paradigm of Hollywood and creating a space where his ideas get to come out and his, the imagery around it gets to come out. I think it's a little bit absurd, but that's just me. You know what I mean? And so
I'm not a fan of him either.
Yeah.
But I do believe that he serves not only a purpose, but a demographic that probably needed some of those types of stories. Because when I think of some of the work that he does, it reminds me of it's kind of like Robin Williams, Mrs. Doubtfire type thing.
Yes.
It kind of fits somewhere. There's a space for it. But I'm like you say, I'm not really a fan.
So check this out. So we started this conversation talking about the Black Superman. Right? So Nick, since you're not a comic book nerd, I will forgive you for this. But can I tell you that there is already a Black Superman?
No shit.
There is already a Black Superman, more powerful than Superman.
So his name is
his name is Icon.
So it's not Superman though.
His name is Icon, and he has all of the same powers.
Okay.
On the next level.
So technically though, it's not a Black Superman.
It's not a Black Superman.
It's stronger. Okay.
Right. And so when I thought this was an image, not a video.
Did you know that, Mario?
No.
No,
I didn't.
And so part of the debate is that Icon. How do I stop this? I did something wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So part of the debate is that Icon uses the same energy better because he's absorbing the sun, because of this, because of that. He doesn't have the same weaknesses, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So a lot of what the universe is experiencing around them freaking out is, in my opinion, due to the fact that, well, if you want to bring reality into the fantasy land, all right, well, let us bring reality into the fantasy land. Let's bring that science into the fantasy land. Then there's gonna be
Yeah.
A reckoning in the world. I don't know if that's a good way to put it, but
a reality
we've
check,
been
like
a reality check,
almost like a not a limiting belief, like keep going. Glass
unlimited,
glass
an unlimited.
ceiling
Yes.
Yeah.
We
It's
have
like
been taught
yeah.
to think in chains. We have been taught to think with anchors. Like what's common in the community. And Mario, tell me if I'm right or wrong, but when we were younger, you would hear our parents and our grandparents say we have to work 2 times or 3 times or 10 times as hard to get the same thing that others get.
100%.
You got to show up earlier, be better. You have to perform more in order to be seen as equal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all of it is a product of imagery, right? It's all a product of imagery. I would propose that getting shot in the street, having your hands up and getting shot in the street is a product of imagery, right? Like, we supposed to be these badass motherfuckers that's not afraid of anything and, shoot me, motherfucker. No, don't shoot me.
Don't.
I'm just trying to get home to my kids. Like, for real, man. I'm doing the same shit you are,
Right.
I think a lot of the ills of society come from the fact that for the longest time, there is a certain justification based on the imagery that we have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, before superheroes were on TV, before the Marvel universe, there was the cowboys and Indians, right? And what would happen? The cowboy would be riding across the plain, and it'd be a whole tribe of Indians chasing after him. Forget the fact that the Indians be Italian dudes with red paint on them. But, we're not going to say nothing about that, right? So it'd be a whole tribe of Indians chasing after him. And what would be the first thing that the cowboy would do is start shooting them. And there was a sort of righteousness to him being able to shoot them. Like, I'm defending myself, and I don't care if I'm taking
on their land. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like, forget why they're chasing me. Forget why I'm an intruder. Like, what would anyone else do if you intruded on their land, right? So I don't know if we're getting too deep for the cookout tonight, but like, bro, that kind of righteous indignation that they have, where it's like, Superman can't be black, Spider-Man can't be black. Miles Morales is one of the greatest Spider-Men in the Spider-Verse ever. My kid is super excited about the Miles Morales movie about to come out. The second Spider-Verse is about to come out, and my kid is on fire. And to see your kid excited about something like that is incredible, man. It's incredible. So
now that you said that, the Miles Morales thing, it did do something to my daughter.
Yeah.
It made her feel like, oh snap, a superhero that resembles. What even took it another notch was this whole Encanto.
Yeah.
Disney, right? Because now you have it representing Latinos, and I mean that movie has broken records. It's gone past Frozen.
Really?
Frozen was like the top, but now Encanto just went further. And my daughter, because of that, the representation, it just hooks them up.
Right.
So they can feel like they're a part of the whole makeup of this American culture that we live in, So movies like that, they're important. I think you're right. All of the representations needs to be shown so that these kids can feel like they're a part of, what's happening in this culture of ours.
And I think Spider-Man's a really good one because he's so relatable as a character. Like anytime you watch it, it's very relatable. Yeah. And the reason I was talking about Superman too is I feel like Superman is almost looked at like godly in like these type of movies. Like every shot that he comes in, it's like, oh, there he is. And like he always comes in and saves the day. And he's the one that everyone banks on. So for me, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, that would be badass. Cause that would be like when he comes, it's like, oh, there he is. You know what I mean? Like to see that would be pretty freaking like badass.
Well, I mean, just listen to the name, Superman.
Yeah. Right.
Right. Like, it's not just man, he's Superman, right? And there is a decision that's made at some point in marketing or at some point in the creative process where instead of having Superwoman, they had Supergirl, and the next person was Superboy, and the next person was Superdog. If you can have a fucking Superdog, like, leave me the hell alone if I want to have a black Superman. Like right? I mean,
yeah.
There's a lot of weirdness in the world, man, that is based maybe on insecurity. You know, certainly racism has something to do with it.
Yeah.
But racism is a power thing, right? Mm-hmm. Racism is a power thing. I think our bigotry is something that we express in art and in our reaction to art. So it's not necessarily racism, so to speak. It's the bigotry that begins to be expressed in the Twitterverse. Like, how dare they have the same thing I have? You know, I'm gonna go back to my story, Nick.
Which one?
Well, there was this town in Texas.
Oh yeah,
back in the day, where Moses, this shit is Nick. Gio. I don't know if I told you this story before.
I just watched another one here today about Georgia.
Oh,
about the town that got flooded.
Yeah, and now Lake Lanier is on top of it. And,
yep.
Dude, this is 100 years since the Tulsa Massacre, the Tulsa Race Massacre. Those terrorists bombed the town, and then 100 years later, there's a mass shooting in Tulsa. Like, it's freaky. Anyway, so there's this town in Texas back in like the 30s or the 40s or something like that, and they had this pool, and having a pool in the middle of town was a big deal. It was like King Spa. It was like, you know, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Right. And the town was like, everyone gets to swim there, blacks, whites, whatever. Yeah. And rather than share the pool with black folks, they filled it in with sand and cement and closed it up. So nobody can have it. And that's kind of what I'm getting from, how dare you guys have a black Superman? Like, you know, like, fuck it, then I don't want any Superman whatsoever.
Right.
It's I think the shit is broken. You know,
let me ask you this, Sakor, just anybody on this call too, is how much of it do you think is underlying racism, and how much of it do you think is underlying ignorance to what imagery can really do and what the realities of what it could actually do is? Or is it a lot of the mix of both?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I would say it's both too.
Yeah,
I'd say it's both. I don't define. Racism has been defined to me as the power to stop another race, or the power to stop someone else from achieving, the power to implement laws that can dictate how somebody lives and how somebody can exist. Whereas that imagery and the bigotry and things like that just is in man's heart, and, you know, it can be expressed any which way, but it doesn't have anything to do with the power. I think what imagery in the media and comic books does is it is the intersection between racism and bigotry, right? Because you have the power to show these images, you're supported and produced and all of these things, and the imagery is repeated over and over again to the point where if I was to mention Cleopatra to somebody, I might get 15 different versions of that person in the same room.
I'm glad you said that, because the truth is, throughout history, and we don't get this history taught here, there were 15 women married to the same last name king, Thanos or something like that. Mm-hmm. And every woman that, I don't remember what it was, but I know that every woman that married that person, they named her Cleopatra.
You're the new Cleopatra now.
So there's
like a goldfish.
There's 15 generations of Cleopatras, but we only define it as one.
No way.
Yeah. Which is the last one that actually committed suicide. So we look at that one and we look at it like if it was just one, but no, it was 15 generations back to back, married to that family. They give that last name and first name to the next son,
Wow.
And now they marry him to this woman. She's Cleopatra. And that's what happened throughout history. But we don't get taught that here. I found that out because I was looking at a history program that they do up there in Europe, in Jerusalem, which was 3 hours long, breaking this down. And I was like,
15
wow,
different women. Yeah.
15 different women with the same name, but everything that these women did is summed up into one.
Wow.
So that's crazy to me.
We're gonna fuck around and break the internet right now. I'm gonna break the internet right now. So Miss Marvel, white or black?
The one I seen, white.
The one you saw is white, right?
Yeah.
Neither. She's Arabic. Up in this bed.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that one.
And so now, in the multiverse, Miss Marvel is an Arabic. You know, she's a Middle Eastern character. Yeah.
Man, I was just talking about this with Mario. You know, the people who played a lot of games and comics. Mario, what were they missing out on early in life?
You said a lot of what?
A lot of video games on early in life. You know, video games and comics.
Oh no,
you don't remember that?
No.
What we were talking about yesterday. The kids today, they play way too many video games.
Oh,
because what are they missing, Mario?
Oh, some women. You know,
yeah, bro.
I was all about video games, so I got my first little piece of ass. You know?
And then you was like, "Hey,
yeah,
I'm gonna leave this alone."
I'd have threw my Xbox out the window just to go hang out with a girl.
Listen, bro. The Geo knows, man. I'm notorious, right? But I tell you right now, man, that the Han Solo was a huge hero of mine because he was a rogue and he get the girl and he didn't care and this and that and his ship and his buddy Chewbacca, like that was what manhood was about to me. Indiana Jones was manhood back in the day.
Not the Jones.
Punch the chick in the mouth when she talked too much and then kiss her right afterwards. It's just like, oh, Indy. You know, that represented manhood for me for a long time, right? And it blew my mind when I found out that Darth Vader was a black man's voice. Right? Like, wait, hold up. Wait a minute.
Wasn't that Mufasa's voice too? Wasn't that the same voice as Mufasa? Wasn't
yes,
that the guy?
Sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hey, listen, when you saw Luke Skywalker talk about you're my dad, and I'm like, Dad, Luke, that ain't your dad, man. That might be Lando's dad, but that ain't your dad, bro. Man, like imagery. So in business, right? Gio and I have an investment group, man, and in that group, we'll be talking about taking these steps that everyone else takes naturally, but we're going to be taking our first steps into this world of investment. And the imagery that we've seen for 4 and 5 decades in some of our cases has been white guys in suits. Even in the 80s, they just had really big shoulder pads in the suits. Right? Like white guys in suits, driving Ferraris, having fun, making money. And, the black guy was the guy that was slick talking and he knew about the street.
Yeah.
And if you put him in a scenario, trading places style, he would rock that shit too. But, he would bring it with like a different spring to his step. Fuck that. Everyone out there, if we start changing the imagery, if we start to believe in the imagery that we see, the world, we could change the world. We could change the world in one generation. Yeah. One generation, we could change the world. We put out the imagery that reflects a multiverse in a conversation, and we do not allow the old bullshit, the old tropes into our universe.
Well, just think about this too, Sekou. Like they always say, like what you see on the computer, on your phone, your brain cannot decipher between that and what's on the big screen too.
Yes, sir.
So what we're doing here with the cookout too, we're going to be getting on a lot of different business owners, black business owners across the U.S., straight businessmen, also business women, offering different opportunities. I feel like right there, Sekou, with what we're doing here,
changing the world.
And everybody has the same opportunity to do that.
Gio's one of my superheroes.
Like to be able to get on here too, to be able to talk about what they're doing in business, what they're doing in life. So I think that's where, like you said, anybody who has the opportunity to pull up a seat to your cookout here.
Let's go. Gio, man, can you talk a little bit about AV Pros and Smart Hands and what some of your goals are and the mission and stuff like that? I don't want to put you on the spot, bro.
Well, first I wanted to make a comment on what you said about changing the next generation. And I had this conversation with my wife yesterday morning. The challenge with changing the thing about, the generation is that it's going to take parents that are open and aware, such as us, and that continue to explore and unpack our issues so that then we can have our children walk a better path. It's not going to just happen with the media. It's really a play. It has to start at home, because the whole programming from 0 to 7 is what's important. And what happens with a lot of let's say the brothers that are Caucasian who have issues with people of color, what happens with them is that they're programmed from an early time in their life. It's culture. It's his or her ecosystem. So for those folks to open up, they have trauma that they have to unpack and become, open to. They need to unpack and see why they have these biases. And that is a tough job.
That's a huge job.
To think that everything you've done up to this point could possibly be wrong.
Yeah.
Dude, that's heavy, bro.
Most people don't want it. So I just want to touch on that too. It's I went through a portion of my life it was more so just about excuses that I've been making too. And where could I be wrong? And I feel like what most people are scared of was what I was scared of. I'm saying you don't want to admit it. You don't want to look in the mirror and say man, I fucked up a lot of things in my life before, right? Just didn't take ownership of things. And the scariest thing was looking in the mirror and saying, that was all on me. I make conscious decisions. But the most beautiful thing is the moment you realize that you take responsibility for your past, you can also take responsibility for your future.
Correct.
And those decisions. So it's the most beautiful thing. Like you said at the end, I thought you were going to say scare. I'm like, beautiful is the perfect word. And I think the tough thing, like you were saying too, was the gates open from the inside. Nobody can go in there and make somebody all you need is a sliver of curiosity. Like, maybe I was wrong. And if you look into it and it's okay.
Yep.
It might not be completely okay in some cases, but at the same time, it's look, new information is not terrible. Figuring out you were wrong is one of the best things ever. And then you start to feel where was I wrong in other places? Start venturing deeper, and it's a beautiful thing to be wrong.
Yeah, man. You learn from that. Regarding AV Pros, so basically, me and a couple of colleagues of mine who have been in the industry for a couple of years now, probably for myself, I would say close to 2 decades, we decided to join and become a unit that would provide a lot of the services that we saw that other companies were not doing it at the level that it could be done. People are focused more on the dollar. My thing is focus on the service, and the dollars will come. Whenever I get a PO, I'm not looking for that PO to come through and when that PO is going to get paid. I get that PO, okay, what's the next job? So having that what's next, and making sure I provide services and remove headaches from the people who are hiring me, that's what we've been doing. So AV Pros is basically a consultant and service company for integrators, technology companies, things of that nature that want to set up a video conferencing system or anything with technology, pretty much. Any way that you could communicate and connect, that's our thing. Our company slogan is love people, enjoy tech, which basically the first thing is people. The next thing is tech. You gotta love people in order to provide a good service. And then if you enjoy technology, you stay in that space where you're having fun all the time. So I've assembled my team, a nice group of people. We're in the West Coast in Florida and here in the Northeast.
And what part of Florida?
Florida, Miami.
Oh, okay, nice.
And so far, we've been talking about it for a year, and we officially launched May 1st, and so far,
let's go.
everything is just moving.
Let's go.
So yeah, man, very thankful. I'm appreciative, and we're just we provide everything except equipment. But what we do is we make everything fair. We're consultants. So what that means is if you're a client and you want technology enhancement in your space, it doesn't matter what it is. If you could think it, we could put it together.
Yeah.
We'll put it together, we'll design it, engineer it, and then we take that package and we put it out there for companies to bid. So that they can, and then we'll get the right company out of the companies that bid to do the job for you, because we don't provide equipment, but we provide labor and all the services there.
How many companies look like yours? How many AV companies look like yours?
Not many, man.
Not many. He's being modest.
I think
I don't think there's any.
Yeah, right.
He's being modest. I'll he won't say this, but I'm gonna give him some props, man. You know, he's employing a lot of people with talent that would not normally be in this industry. He's educating people from the ground up. He's doing back office stuff, sales. He's showing how to put together packages and proposals and things like that. Advertising. I listen. When I tell you that he's one of my heroes, he is one of my heroes, and we get to do this for our kids, and then that becomes the imagery.
Correct.
Right. And so, you know, seeing us, you know, every day, this is how I make my bread, y'all. This is it. It's not, you know, there's no mystery God here. This is it. This is how he makes his bread. And so to do this, it actually shows them how to support these mindsets and ideas. It shows them how to do these things sometimes without support. You know what I mean? Like, it shows them that no matter what, they could put the S on their chest and be the superhero. They could be the Superman, Superwoman, no matter who they are, where they come from. My niece, Gia, she's got these big old Afro puffs on the side of her head. And the new Iron Man, even though it's Iron Man, it's not an Iron Man, it's an Iron young lady, is a 16-year-old girl with Afro puffs on the side of her head.
Is this a movie?
It's in the comic, bro. All
right. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was like, how have I not seen any of these movies you keep bringing up?
Well, let me give you one more thing about employment. So one of the things I've learned is that you need to educate and teach. So what we do, we don't employ people. We partner with people. So what that means is I'll grab someone who's interested, I'll educate them on what this is, and then I'll have them set up their own LLC. And in setting up their LLC, I then have them get their own insurance.
Wow. And
I partner with them, and I teach them bookkeeping and how to take care of expenses and track expenses for themselves. Young people, 21 and up, you know, so I'm grabbing them like that early and empowering them to already start to operate and think as a business for themselves. So I'm not employing people. I'm developing business people who are working with me as partners, and they have the ability to take the skills I give them, and they can work with anybody else.
So train them so good they can leave, but you probably treat them so well that they don't want to.
They don't. It's not about them leaving. It's about them sharing their time with us when we have an assignment.
Yeah.
But stay flexible enough to do your own work too.
I love that.
Dude, this is the real deal. This is the real thing. This is what the cookout is about. It's about, you know, the mission of transforming the world, man.
Yeah.
Changing the world and doing it in a generation, bro. And I think this is the generation we could do it with. And I think that if we continue this kind of imagery, we continue these kind of conversations, I think that fuck what I think. I feel that transformation is here already. It's already here, and that's what the bigotry and the bias remarks and the racist, all of those tropes. The tiger rages hardest when they're about to die. You know what I mean? I think all of this crap that's coming out now is because it's in its death rattle.
Whew.
Yeah, baby.
That's a different perspective than what I've heard a lot of, and that's the one that that's the one that actually makes the most sense. With all, like you said, Tiger rages hardest when it's about to die.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
you know, and tell me if I'm wrong, Mario, Gio. In my community, we used to hear people say all the time, "I wish racism was out in the front. I wish you would just be up front with it. Just be up front with it." Right? Well, motherfuckers is up front with it right now.
No, yeah, for real.
Like, they are up front with it right now. And so what are you gonna do about it? And what I've learned is that you can't. Gio said this to me the other day. He says you can't punch this. You can't hit this, man. It is your ability to rise above it. That's the strongest thing, man. And that's what I see us doing, man. The imagery is step one. I reject the notion that it has to be what you say it is.
You know, something we've been talking a lot about too is like feelings and emotions. Me and my brother have been talking a lot about it. And the hard thing with these are they're intangible things. So the moment you try and grasp it and understand it, just slips through your fingers because it doesn't make sense. It's unreasonable. So, like, I think that's like what you were talking about too.
I like that, brother. It's unreasonable. It's like
unreasonable.
Being unreasonable.
I love being unreasonable.
I love it.
But I think
let's get our imagery together. Let's make sure that the kids get to see this coalition. This group of brothers. And the ones that brothers and sisters that the ones that we bring to the cookout over and over again every week. Yeah. This was an awesome conversation. Nick, I'm telling you now, touchdown, brother.
Touchdown, yeah, with the Black Superman.
Yeah, man. I was going to talk about some other shit, man. And Nick was
I didn't know you were a
man,
comic man. Yeah,
I'm a comic nerd, bro.
Now I know. I knew you were into Star Wars. I knew that.
Yes, sir.
Didn't you used to
comic
have like
sci-fi nerd.
Stormtrooper or something behind you, like a Stormtrooper helmet, or
I have
Darth Vader or something?
No, baby.
What you got? Gio knows.
It is the Black Panther, baby. Come
on, I could have sworn you had like a Stormtrooper helmet behind you.
No, if it's not that, look.
You got more.
Batman up in the corner, man.
Batman.
Let's go.
Let's hear the Batman voice. Take you one time for the one time.
I will not do the Batman voice. I'm Baghdad. When I need something done, I get the Batman voice on. Listen, I noticed that you were selling your house on your own. Why would you do that? Call Batman. Hey, listen, we are creating icons. Ba-dum-bum, right? Because icons the Black Superman, right? But we are creating icons. And the notion that fantasy must be one way and not another is ridiculous. To coin your phrase, it's just absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
And so if we really are expanding fantasy, right? Let's just imagine. Let's just imagine 100 years ago, 150 years ago, rather than restricting development, rather than restricting progress, rather than oppressing and suppressing progress, we look to see who had the best ideas in 1889, right? We would probably be walking around in floating Nikes right now, right? Like if we had just given up on old school stupidity, what I call dark ages mentality, we would be flying in the light now, baby.
And I'll tell you what, something I try and think about too is 20 years from now, not thinking about my actions or anybody else's, but what will be the right thing 20 years from now? What will you think that just because everybody else is doing it, saying it, or like that's just because it is what it is, that doesn't mean it has to be. There are no rules to this life. So 20 years from now, what will be the right thing? I'm trying to do that.
Well, let's hope it's not Idiocracy, the way that movie goes. You guys did you see that movie, Idiocracy?
I've seen that movie, man. Like, and it scares me. It scares me because I see so many similarities. Like, that's a topic for another day.
Yeah, we'll do that. Gio, is there anything that you want to talk about real quick, man? And
Gio, how can people find you to work with you and also to partner with you?
I think we might have lost him for a second. He might have got a call. He's on his phone.
Right.
So you could always reach Gio at avpros.io.
And I'm sure we could drop some links after this too.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that on the screen there, and get at us, and we'll connect you with the AV pros and all of that. Nikki, what's next for you, man? What's next? You and Mario, y'all are down there in the heat in the summer in Florida, not Miami. Y'all in Orlando.
Orlando.
Where
You talking
dreams
about like
come true.
next literally today, or just like what's coming up?
I mean, you can make a grown man feel good. Let's go. What you got going on next today, y'all?
Oh, next today. Let's see. I'm hopping on. I'm actually hiring. I'm hiring somebody new here soon. So that's gonna be at 7:00. I'm really not hiring her yet. We're gonna have a good call with her. I'm really excited for that. Just hired a new person to do some video editing. So man, I'll tell you what, Mario. Why don't you tell him about? You know what, Mario? Mario's about to be he's the head of creative media here at Creme Global.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me.
Oh, he got his name. You know what, Mario? Why don't you
he got his official title?
Yeah, you got the title. You got some things. Tell him what you got going on. That's what I want to hear.
So, being the head of the creative media side, just helping to delegate and to kind of help, just actually working with other people. Like I'm getting into like my boss form now. You know what I mean? Like actually having calls. Yeah, actually having calls with other people. Sense things up, letting people know how we go about doing things. I mean, I think that's just the next step for me. Just kind of actually being able to run and control the actual media side, and no matter of if I'm actually hands-on with it, I've been doing it. So when it's time to delegate, I know how to guide them in the right direction.
My favorite thing, Sekou, the one day he wasn't here because he had to fly up to Cleveland. We went to Detroit, and I got back a day early, and I had to do a live. I got in this room, and I was like, I don't know what do now. I don't know how to do anything. I literally started. I unplugged 3 things. I'm like, I'm already gonna piss Mario off. I'm just gonna stop there. And I did the Zoom.
Do it on your phone.
It was the best feeling ever. Because I'm like, I literally don't have to know how to do any of this. Mario set like damn near this entire room up, and it's just like, this is awesome.
So real quick, the cookout is for growing and developing. I wanna do something right now. Gio, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So I want to do something right now. Mario, Gio, Nick, this is what I want to do. I want to set a date before the end of the summer. So we don't need much time to put this together. I want to do a content and calls day at either a hotel or some kind of hall where we film, we set up a podcast booth, we set up a photography studio, and we invite agents to come in, put content together, show them how you leverage the content for the calls. When they leave there in that one day, they can have a year's worth of content and information and growth. I challenge us. Let's put this together before AV pros.
Yeah,
AV pros could put together the whole thing so it looks beautiful. I'm saying before the end of the summer, let's do this.
I'm in.
Yeah, you talking my language. Say cool.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
I mean, we're in Orlando, but I could make a trip down to Miami. I mean, if I have to.
Did I say Miami? Did I say Miami?
No, you didn't, but I am.
All right. Well, let's say
if I have to go to Miami, I guess so.
Hell listen, I will pull out my suntan lotion and my old school body. Oh, Nick, guess what?
What's up?
I found this out with Gio the other day. We went to a spa.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you do when you go to a spa is you get on the scale. For the first time in 25 years,
come on,
I am below 200 pounds, bro.
Let's go.
195, baby. Let's go.
There you go.
Let's go.
So I'm gonna have to put my old school body on and shit, shave some of these gray hairs off my chest, and walk around Miami with a Speedo.
I gotta start hitting the gym again a little bit more.
Let's
go a little bit, and I gotta start keeping up with Sekou.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go, Sekou. I'm happy for you, man.
Oh, that's dope.
So you name the session "We Love a Black Superman." You know what I'm doing, right? Let's go. Wakanda forever, baby. Let's go.
Are you gonna do like what was that, the 40-year-old virgin, and just shave an S in your chest when you go down there?
I that movie terrifies me, man. Let me just tell you that right now. Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, man, this was so much fun. Thank you, G, for coming on. Thank you for being a part of this. I want Jabari on. I want to get Fidel on.
Ooh.
And talk about the moves that he's making. You know, my neighborhood from back in the day is the Heights. is Washington Heights, and all of those movies and all of the plays and all of the shit that you've seen is real. Okay, you know, we got everything there. We got the what do you call it? The piragua guy, where he's scraping the ice and making the ices, and we got attorney generals out this piece. But I'm not supposed to say nothing about that right now. So, you know, so we got everything from sneaker hustlers to the nutcrackers out there, and we're not supposed to say nothing about that either. Okay, so.
Giving away all the
yeah, and the chopped cheese. Hey,
say cool. You know I need it. I need that.
Listen, G. We got to put together.
I've heard about this damn chop. What am I missing?
I haven't had it yet. Everybody from New York always talking about the chopped cheese. I need
chopped cheese, baby.
Whatever bodega you go to, I need the chopped cheese. Say cool. Come on, stop playing.
All right, bro. All right, we're gonna figure out how to pipe that down to you without it dying, because it's hot and steaming, and on the way down, it's definitely gonna lose some steam.
Yeah.
Dude, man, I love y'all. I love being able to do this with y'all. I love the fact that Nick Krem and the whole Krem family, Krem International, has helped to create a space where the world is my oyster. And I'm offering to share that with all of you guys, and I'm offering to share that, and I am in awe and gratitude. Every day at 4:00, there's an announcement that comes up on my phone that says, "Find a moment of gratitude," and this is my moment of gratitude, y'all.
Cheese?
Well, that's a chopped cheese.
Well, yeah, I thought you were like talking about chopped cheese this whole time. I'm like, man, it's this gotta be really
you're
good.
not chopped cheese. No, chopped cheese is the truth. You definitely will come out of there a different person. It is a transformative thing. What I'm talking about, man, is you guys and the energy that you've put into our transformation. You don't know, Nick, that some of the stuff that you've taught me and we talk about is filtered all the way through the AV pros, bro.
That's awesome.
You know,
hey, I'd like to be able to hop on a Zoom or a call and figure out a little bit about what y'all got going on too, Gio, and just see if there's There's always collaboration somewhere. I don't know what and I don't know how, but I know there's always a way. So
they put that studio together themselves, G.
That's cool.
What am I missing?
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
they gave it a shot.
Yeah, at least they gave it a shot. So you know how your dad was like, "Yeah, this is good. You know, this and that." Gio will come in and be like, "Okay, you guys did a great job," and then take everything down, and he'll do it over again. All right, guys. Well, we've been on for a damn near an hour.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
This is how the time flies. You know what we didn't have? We didn't have any food.
My
food is brought to me by I got one more thing to show. I got one more thing to share. It's a short video, but I gotta shout this out. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I know we gotta go, but I gotta do this. All right. So the and one 30. 30. All right. So these are you want to talk about imagery? These were my superheroes growing up. Hold on. And then my nephew, Kid Boom, is his DJ name. And his real name is Jojo, but don't tell anybody I told you. Esteban and Catherine Serrano's son, Jojo Serrano, is this kid named Kid Boom, and he did 5 or 6 of the songs, and his songs are the only one featured in the promo, in the ad. So let's just take a look at the ad. This kid, he's 18 years old.
Oh yeah,
he is obsessed with I'm trying to find the promo, the ad. Jesus. Promo. All right. Ready? See if I can do it. All right, here we go. Here we go.
You're going to work harder than you've ever worked in your life.
Fight!
Ooh.
If you don't want that, don't come here.
1 second, and the title has returned to its old Kentucky home.
Wait, this isn't
take
it.
UMass from nothing,
God,
go to
dog it.
Memphis, and all of a sudden they're annually in the top 5. You should be embraced as one of the great coaches in the game, and he wasn't.
there were a number of coaches who felt.
All right, I ain't gonna find it, and we got to go. So, but it was the bomb. It was playing during all of the during all of the playoffs. It was the one that was playing. It was dope. Here it is.
Street games, and they were like extensions of block parties.
It wasn't just basketball; it was about culture.
Just trying to figure out how we could go see some of these games.
They added a discus.
You ain't never seen ball like this.
No.
This is the story of
definitely wanted to be hot sauce at one point in time.
That's
why
everybody
wanted to be hot sauce. Skip to my Lou.
Skip to my Lou. Ooh.
Oh man, yo, and we watched it the other night. So if you could watch it, he's got 6 songs in it. Go ahead and show him some love. I absolutely love you guys. Later, alligators.
Later. Cool.
We taking us out with the fader. Thank you, G.
Thank you,
love y'all. I'm gonna put a little music on just because I want a little and one mixtape on the way out the door. Boom.